All right, so I want you to think about your favorite piece of Star Wars media ever. It's got to be Star Wars Unleashed, right? I knew it. Everything from the lightsaber combat to the destructive and the bombastic force abilities, and its full display of what it really feels like to master the force in the Star Wars universe. It's an amazing experience. Or maybe you're gonna say KOTOR. I don't know how that wasn't first. It's arguably one of the greatest RPG experiences ever in the history of gaming, giving you the full expansive history and like putting you in the shoes of one of the greatest heroes or villains have ever existed in Star Wars continuity. Or maybe you're just like me and it's Clone Wars, the best thing to happen to Star Wars since like the Thrawn trilogy. It's an amazing anthology series and was on television for years and defined a lot of us as Star Wars fans as our introduction to the greater universe. No matter what your introduction was, or no matter what your favorite piece of Star Wars media is, I can almost guarantee you that whatever answer you said is either in gaming form, novel form, or in animated show form. And there's a reason for that. That reason is animation is the savior of the entire Star Wars franchise. Alright, so Star Wars has 5 fully animated series. Droids and Ewoks does not exist. I'm talking to you, all you nursing home patients. Don't talk about it in the comment section. And most of them have welcomed a level of critical acclaim as well as garnered a strong following for each series, with maybe the exception of The Bad Batch, as it came out a couple years ago, if not last year, and everyone was kind of asleep on it, I'm not gonna lie to you. Clone Wars received an original 5-season or 6-year runtime during one of the most highly contested eras of animation from the years 2008 to 2014, adapting for the audiences viewing the show while telling mature stories about some of the most beloved characters in all of Star Wars history, while also fully and further developing other characters to the point of complete redemption like Anakin Skywalker, or just fully integrating and creating characters into the mythos like Ahsoka. Then you have Star Wars Rebels, which serve as basically a continuation of what was left with Star Wars The Clone Wars, and tells a story fit for the cartoons of that era in which it came out. And what I mean by that is the show's childish. It's not as mature as Clone Wars, but that's okay because it still is good in its own right to its own audience. Rebels has still been able to cement itself into the minds of many when they think of recent Star Wars history, continuing the story of Darth Vader and Ahsoka Tano while introducing the world to the fables of Kanan Jarrus and giving us the conclusion of the greatest rivalry in the Star Wars universe. The show's Resistance and Star Wars Visions give us more collaborative efforts to put these stories from a galaxy far, far away on the small screen. It gives us more anime-inspired portrayals of different stories from across the universe, across the time periods, featuring the Star Wars cast or just the Star Wars universe in general. Although these shows only commanded large-scale attention for a short amount of time, they proved to be instrumental in the future of this great franchise in diversifying the types of stories that can be told in this world. While lastly, The Bad Batch serves as the continuation of one of Star Wars' most unlikely fan bases, clone fandom, which only furthers the idea that Star Wars should almost fully transition to animated works, like I said in the intro. If Star Wars were to fully transition to animated works for its non-essential plot lines that should be told in movies, then it would be able to make a full separation from the nostalgia-filled, Skywalker-dominated land of live-action films. My primary problem with the Disney Star Wars films is that it even further centralizes the Force and the overall idea of Star Wars to only mattering when it's connected to the Skywalkers. That's why I commend The Last Jedi for trying to pull Rey and the overall universe away from the mysticism of a Luke Skywalker and just that entire era in general. Granted, I'm not stupid, and I know that those 9 movies are called the Skywalker Saga for a reason. They're the family that connects everything in Star Wars, and it's even like that in the novels. That's why we have Jade Skywalker, and it continues on. Nevertheless, I think one of the main sins from these sequel trilogies trilogy is not focusing on the Force and focusing too much on the Skywalkers. Although yes, they are the family of Star Wars at the end of the day, you still have other parts of the universe that require attention and development, especially if you plan on continuing with this franchise. The average moviegoer has no other ties to the Star Wars franchise aside from the Skywalker lineage, because that hasn't been showcased since 2003. Rogue One doesn't really count because, well, they're all dead, and pretty uninteresting outside of that movie. No one's gonna watch a full film or a full series centered around the individual lives of the characters in those movies. But by separating the form of media from live action to animation, you can continue to tell centralized stories about the Skywalker family in live action and tell anthology series and further side plots in animation, so they don't have to be as grounded. There should be nobody that disagrees with me when I say that The Mandalorian, as great as it is held back in creativity by being a live action series. If it was allowed to use the existing character model of Ahsoka and have a faster pace in the gunfighting scenes similar to some of the animation used in Star Wars' standoff episode, The Mandalorian would be a factually and definitively better series. The creative freedom combined with the different mediums of storytelling provides Disney with the prime opportunity to continue to tell unique stories separate from the Skywalkers or the main plot, and create new fan experiences like The Bad Batch, Ahsoka, and other parts of the Star Wars universe. If you want me to make a video on Clone Wars in the future, or delving deeper into different aspects and my favorite parts of the Star Wars universe, let me know in the comment section down below, and make sure to subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Now, I'm gonna be completely transparent with you guys, because that's what I like to do on this channel. 9 times out of 10, I think that fictional stories that aren't told on Earth or an alternate version of Earth are just better told in animation. You have less restrictions when it comes to what you can do, and yeah, it takes longer, sure, to animate those things, especially depending on the style of animation that you do, like cell shading animation, for example. You know, it takes a long time in anime, but there are ways to get around that. And even still, if it means the quality of a show like Clone Wars or like Rebels, then is that not worth the wait? The amount of storytelling that those series do for those parts of the Star Wars universe not only expand the characters and the things that we already know about the series, but it just pushes the boundaries of what we can think about when it comes to the Star Wars universe. There's imagery in those shows that can't even be replicated throughout the practical effects that someone like George Lucas would try to replicate with the original trilogy, or even some of the CGI that's been used in the Disney sequels. And that's okay. It's perfectly fine. I think that it's common knowledge to realize that the full extent of animation can pull out the full extent of someone's creative vision. And when it comes to a fantasy series like Star Wars, I think that's the best thing that you can do for a franchise like this. Look, I get it. Star Wars is a complicated franchise with a complicated history. Its influence is always felt in the modern landscape of media, and its quality seems to be continuously questioned in the eyes of many. But if there's one thing, a singular aspect of the franchise that's been consistently praised, talked about, and has produced some of the greatest moments and honestly eras in Star Wars history, it's the animated works of this franchise. Proving that this should be the direction that the franchise takes for the foreseeable future, and I guess we just have to wait to find out what a galaxy far, far away is left in store for us in the future. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. As you know, if you watch this channel, I've never really brought it up before because I didn't think it was something that a lot of people wanted to hear from me, but I do understand it as a thing that a lot of people do care about. And with the recent animation cartoon tournament bracket that we did on my podcast, I've realized that Clone Wars is honestly one of the best things to ever happen to Star Wars. And with them bringing Clone Wars back after so long and continuing these animated series, and of course with me watching something like Star Wars Rebels a few years back, watching Star Wars Visions a few months ago, Star Wars can put out some amazing animated works, and it's sad to see it all get wasted on a solo film every now and then, or just like continuing digging this hole, restricting yourself to only get people to care when you're talking about a Skywalker, which is what Rise of the Skywalker did, in my opinion. And Star Wars Visions did the exact opposite, restoring some of the magic to the greater Star Wars universe. And I just kind of want to see more of that. Let me know if you guys agree in the comment section. Again, thank you for watching this far if you're still here. And that's it for me. I hope y'all have a good day. I'll catch you later. Peace.